seen this one. I've seen this one. This is a classic.
What do you mean you've seen this? It's brand new.
Except it isn't brand new. In fact, you might be getting a bit of deja vu. Maybe you've seen this before in 1984 or in 2016 or as recently as last year. It's no secret that Hollywood is on a bit of a nostalgia trip. Existing IPs are no stranger to cinemas and streaming platforms. In 2019, 42% of wide-release films were part of an existing franchise, be that sequel, prequel, reboot, or remake. That's more than twice as many as 20 years ago. But what if I told you that not all franchise reboots and remakes are made equal? In the last 10 years, you might have noticed a new trend on the rise.
Oh my god, he's making a requel.
You might not have heard of the term requel before, but you've definitely seen one. Think Jurassic World, Star Wars, Mad Max, Blade Runner, Scream, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, Blair Witch, Spiral, Chucky. So what exactly makes a franchise installment a requel, and how does it differ from a remake? To do this, I will be using the Bible of meta horror.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie.
Scream, to demonstrate the concept and apply it to the granddaddy of all horror, the Halloween franchise. Halloween is unique in that it has 3 films in the series called Halloween: the 1978 original, the 2007 remake, and the 2018 requel. Because it has had both a remake and requel within the same franchise, I'll be comparing to see how differently they performed, why they were received the way they were, and what they can tell us about the requel and remake fads.
Because all there are now are remakes. There are still rules, but the rules have changed. Only horror the studio's greenlight.
This was true for a time, as the 2000s sparked a wave of horror remakes flooding the scene. No beloved franchise was safe, including John Carpenter's 1978 classic Halloween, which kickstarted the slasher genre that would mark the 80s. In 2007, filmmaker and musician Rob Zombie would remake Halloween in his vision. So, what makes a remake?
Yeah, you gotta have an opening sequence that blows the doors off, dial up some flashy music video direction.
John Carpenter's Halloween begins with the now iconic one-er, in which a masked figure murders a woman in her room, who is then revealed to be 6-year-old Michael Myers. And that's it for his character's backstory. Rob Zombie's, on the other hand, gives us a not-so-subtle indication of the broken family Michael lives in an attempt to give him reason for his murderous ways, all while styling up that music video direction.
And the kill's gotta be way more extreme.
That's for sure. Whilst Carpenter's original thrived in the ambiguity and subtlety of the kills, Zombies does not hold back on its on-screen violence and shock.
The unexpected is the new cliche. Modern audiences get savvy to the rules of the originals, so the reversals become the new standard.
And zombie new audiences would be privy to the iconic ending of the original.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Which is why he chose to have a fake-out ending, hoping audiences would be caught off their guard as a new ending is played out for us.
Is that the boogeyman?
I do believe it was.
So now that we have the 3 rules of what makes a remake, how does it differ from a requel?
Oh my god, he's making a requel. A what?
See, you can't just reboot a franchise from scratch anymore. The fans won't stand for it.
And the fans didn't stand for the Halloween remake, which ushered in David Gordon Green's 2018 film, a direct sequel to the 1978 original, ignoring the events of the previous 9 films. So what are the rules of a requel?
Not quite a reboot, not quite a sequel, like the new Halloween, Saw, Terminator, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters.
Green remakes some iconic moments of the original, and passes on the baton for a new group of teenagers for Michael to terrorize, making it almost a reboot. But it acknowledges the events of the original, making it almost a sequel too. However, Green is picky about what parts of the original series remain canon, leading us into point number 2.
It's gotta be part of an ongoing storyline, even if the story shouldn't have been ongoing in the first place.
Halloween 2018 picks up 40 years after Laurie survived the attacks of the 1978 film. Green chose to overlook a few setbacks of the original timeline.
Happy fucking Halloween!
I'll see you in hell.
New main characters, yes, but supported by and related to legacy characters.
As franchise favourites Laurie Strode and Michael Myers return, they're accompanied by Laurie's daughter, granddaughter, and friends, the newest slasher bait. So, how did the 2007 Halloween remake compare to the 2018 Halloween requel? Rob Zombie's 2007 film was made on a budget of $15 million and made over $80 million at the box office. From critics, it earned a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, and from audiences, 59%. Comparatively, David Gordon Green's 2018 film was made on a budget of $10 million and made over $255 million. From critics, it earned a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, and from audiences, 71%. When looking beyond the horror genre and to the broader range of requels, based off box office alone, it's no wonder studios are more inclined to invest their money into requels. It's an almost guaranteed financial success. But where does it sit with critics and fans? While Zombie's film faced criticism for its heightened gore and violence, Green's film was praised for upping the ante of Michael's viciousness for a modern audience. While Zombie was panned for challenging John Carpenter's legacy, Green's film was applauded as a love letter that honoured Carpenter's work. Viewers of Green's 2018 film commended the improved representation of its female characters and its approach to Laurie Strode's post-traumatic stress. But many seem to forget that Zombie's Laurie also improved on the 1978 original, successfully killing Michael, which she does not do in the original, and suffers from the ramifications of her traumatic experience in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Despite having more similarities than many like to believe, Rob Zombie's Halloween and David Gordon Green's Halloween sit very differently with many viewers. So why are requels better received than remakes? Because requels have a unique ability to bring old and new fans together in one sitting. Remakes have a flaw. For new, younger audiences, they're witnessing this story for the first time. They're able to sit back and enjoy it from an unbiased experience. Whereas existing fans are watching something they love seemingly ripped away from them and rebranded right before their very eyes.
And now they're making Ghostbusters with only women. What's going on?
With remakes, there will always be a divide. Requels, on the other hand, act as a bridge between young and old audiences. Let's take it back to Ghostbusters Afterlife. My family can rarely sit down to watch a movie together due to our vastly different tastes. My dad, who naively hates anything released after the 1980s, cannot enjoy a movie with my 13-year-old sister, who instantly turns off a film that wasn't made before 2010. But Afterlife's blend of the original film's nostalgia, along with a contemporary reimagining, meant my family was able to sit together for 2 hours and share in the movie viewing experience. Requels not only satisfy young and old audiences, but do what movies do best: brings them together, bridging a generational gap to create memories and experiences in the cinema.